students, hi, welcome to an English language lesson with Madam Gan. Today, this is a lesson for Form 5. The theme is People and Culture. We are doing Unit 12. The topic is Happy to Help. Let's look at the contents. We have learning standards, introduction, reading, vocabulary, grammar, and listening. First, let's look at the learning standards. We have main skills, reading 3.1.2, understand specific details and information in a standard text on the wide range of familiar topics and some unfamiliar topics. Then we have listening 1.3.1, recognize with little or no support, typical features at word sentence and text level of a range of spoken genres. And listening 1.1.2, understand independently specific information and details in extended text on a range of familiar topics and some unfamiliar topics. Now for the complementary skills, speaking 2.1.1, explain information on familiar topics from diagrams, charts, tables, graphs, or other visuals. Listening 1.1.2, understand independently specific information and details in extended text on a wide range of familiar topics and some unfamiliar topics. And listening 1.1.3, recognize independently attitudes or opinion in extended text on a wide range of familiar topics and some unfamiliar topics. Dear students, let's start our lesson. Dear students, look at the photos. What will you do? Discuss your actions as a class. Let's look at the first photo. You see a woman begging in the street. You would give her some money, buy some food for her, feel sad but do nothing, continue walking. Number 2, you see a stray puppy. You would call the authorities, feed it but leave it there, take it home as your pet, do nothing, it's not your problem. And the last photo, you see someone spray painting a wall. You would demand that they stop, call the police immediately, be too scared to speak, say nothing, you don't care. So, what will you do? You can discuss all the possible answers as a class. Okay, let's continue. Number 2, what problem are there in your community? So make a list with a partner and discuss possible solutions. Dear students, next, watch this short video about a film called Pay It Forward. What is Trevor's idea? How does it work? So here you can scan the QR code to watch the DVD or the video. Let's look at the answers. What is Trevor's idea? Okay, the idea was he was going to find 3 people to help, and they in turn will help 3 people who will each help 3 more people, and so on. So how does it work? So in this way, many people will be helping each other in a very short period of time. Dear students, let's continue. The next lesson is reading. Dear students, do you recognize the logos? Match them to the organization. So here you have UNICEF, you have Doctors Without Borders, and WWF. So A, UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, protects the rights of children. It helps them to survive and develop and provides them with education. B, Doctors Without Borders provides medical aid to those in need, regardless of their race, religion, or politics. And C, WWF's mission is to stop the degradation of our planet's natural environment and build a future in which humans live in harmony with nature. So, let's look at the answers. Number 1 is C, WWF. Number 2 is A, the logo for UNICEF. And the last logo is for Doctors Without Borders. Let's look at the next question. How do charities survive? Make a list of ways in which people can help charities. Okay, students, let's look at the answers to the second task. How do charities survive? Make a list of ways in which people can help charities. So here, charitable organizations survive primarily on donations. Ways for people to give to charity. So number 1, donate your time. Volunteering is a worthy way to contribute to your community and can be just as valuable as cash donations. Number 2, how can you help charities? Donate your skills. If you have a special skill such as writing, cooking, or photography, you can consider offering your services for charity. And number 3, you can also donate your staff. Many charities and non-profit, they accept donated goods, including, for example, clothes, shoes, furniture, and even cars. So if you have some stuff to get rid of, consider giving it to a good cause rather than throwing it out. And the last way, there are many more, but here I've listed only 4. Raise funds. You can also raise funds for charity in many ways. For example, by organizing a local collection, sharing your favorite causes on social media, or participating in a sponsored walk. If you have a network of caring people and some hustle, you can raise a hefty donation. Dear students, let's continue with exercise 3. Read the article quickly. Which charities help people and which help nature and wildlife?
Unit 12. Reading.
Kids with a conscience. What do you do in your spare time? Have you ever considered using it to improve the lives of others? These children did. Read their stories, and perhaps you too can be inspired to lend a hand. When 5-year-old Canadian Hannah Taylor saw a homeless man eating out of a rubbish bin, she was shocked and saddened. As a young child from a loving and comfortable home, she was unaware that homelessness existed. She never forgot the image of that man, and so a few years later, Hannah founded the Ladybug Foundation, a charity for the homeless. She chose the ladybug because the insect represents good luck, which is something she believes the homeless need. She began by painting empty baby food jars like ladybugs and asking businesses in her town to put small change in them. By the age of 10, she had raised more than $500,000. Now a young adult, Hannah has spoken out for the homeless across Canada to hundreds of schools and organizations. Through these and other efforts, over $2 million has been raised to provide not only shelter but food, 2 basic human rights for the homeless. Janine Lecaire and Aislinn Livingstone were just 9 years old in 1999 when they saw the rainforest disappearing from their beloved home in Manuel Antonio, Costa Rica, due to the development of roads and buildings in the area. They witnessed the negative impact of this on the animals, particularly the monotiti, or squirrel monkeys. The main cause of death for these monkeys is electrocution from electrical cables or being hit by cars while crossing these new roads. This put the species in danger and inspired the girls to establish Kids Saving the Rainforest, KSTR, a non-profit organization to save the local rainforests and endangered wildlife. KSTR has grown steadily. One of its objectives has been to create monkey bridges throughout the area. These are thick ropes that help the monkeys cross areas where there are now roads or electrical and phone cables, or where there aren't enough trees for the monkeys to pass through. There are currently 130 such bridges, which, in combination with other measures, have saved the lives of many monkeys. Mary's Meals is an extraordinary charity that has introduced school meal programs for hungry children in countries across Africa, Asia, the Caribbean, Eastern Europe and South America. There, many children do not attend school. To encourage them to get an education, the charity provides free, healthy daily meals at school. Education is important because it can lift them out of poverty by helping them to get good jobs, which benefits the whole community. 9-year-old Martha Payne from the UK had a blog about her own school dinners and whether they were healthy or not. Some people pointed out on her blog that she was fortunate to get a meal of any kind at school when so many children were starving. Realizing the truth of this, Martha got involved by raising money for Mary's Meals and encouraged her blog readers to donate. She has raised over £130,000 for the charity, visited Mary's Meals in Malawi, and herself became the subject of a BBC documentary. The charity now feeds more than 750,000 children every school day, and it costs only £10.70 to feed a child for a year. There are kids making a difference in the world. If you are lucky enough as a teenager to have money and time, then why not use them to do something constructive?
Dear students, let's answer the question. Which charities help people and which help nature and wildlife? So the answer, the Ladybird Foundations and Mary's Meals help people. KSTR protects animals and habitats. Dear students, let's go through the answers for exercise 4. Read the article again and choose the best answer, A, B, C or D. Number 1, how did Hannah Taylor initially help the homeless? So you have A, by raising more than $2 million, B, by making other children aware of the problem, C, by getting help from people in her local area, and D, by helping people about basic human rights. So the answer is C, by getting help from people in her local area. Number 2, according to the article, the monkey bridges, A, have saved parts of the monkey's habitat, B, are cut when there is danger in the area, C, are built next to roads in Costa Rica, and D, protect the monkeys from modern hazards. So the answer is D, protect the monkeys from modern hazards. Let's continue. Number 3, what is the long-term benefit of a free daily meal? A, it can lead to economic development. B, it stops hunger in the whole community. C, it creates more jobs for poor people. And D, it means more schools are opened. So the answer is A, it can lead to economic development. Okay, 4, according to the article, Martha Payne, A, learned about Mary's Meals on a documentary. B, has seen the work that Mary's Meals does. C, had a blog about the charity Mary's Meals. D, started Mary's Meals when she was 9. So the answer is B, has seen the work that Mary's Meals does. Let's continue with question 5. Which statement is true? A, Martha is the only one who deals with issues of hunger. B, Janine and Aislinn are the only ones protecting a habitat. C. Only Hannah was inspired to act by a sad sight. D. Martha has raised the most money for her charity. So the answer is B. Janine and Aislinn are the only ones protecting a habitat. Number 6. What is the writer's intention? A. To ask people for donations to the charities. B. To describe what the different charities do. C. To explain why it's a good idea to start a charity. And D. To encourage others to get involved with charity. So the answer is D. To encourage others to get involved with charity. Now let's look at the download notes. Sometimes one of the questions in a multiple choice task requires that you understand the text as a whole. For such questions, you could be asked about the purpose of the text, why certain topics are discussed, or why certain examples are provided. Which of the questions in 4 is an example of this? So the answer is question 6, because it asks about the writer's intention in writing the text. Dear students, for exercise 5, complete the sentences with the correct form of these words. So you have aware, they, homeless, object, organize, and set. Number 1, the Ladybug Foundation makes a difference to many people's daily life. Number 2, I'm so sorry I was unaware of the problems you are facing. Number 3, surely we can use empty buildings in the area and end homelessness. Number 4, the organization's objective is to help families that are in financial trouble. Number 5, everyone was saddened by the news that the animal shelter had to close. And number 6, a charity is a or an. So an organization that is set up to raise money and help those in need. Let's look at task 6. Work with a partner. Create a charity. Give it a name and a logo, and then write down its objectives. Use these ideas or your own. So you can also use your own ideas. Here we have wildlife, the homeless, elderly people, the disabled, refugees, or stray animals. So you can try and do this on your own or with a partner. Dear students, let's continue with the vocabulary lesson. Dear students, for task 1, label the pictures showing different kinds of services. Some of the letters are given to help you. Let's look at the answer for number 1. This is the picture of fire brigade. Number 2, police. Number 3, public transport. Number 4, job center. Number 5, ambulance service. Number 6, Coast Guard. Number 7, public housing. And number 8, prison service. Let's continue with exercise 2. Match the social problems with the definitions. So we have here the social problems 8. Homelessness, unemployment, poverty, addiction, racism, physical disability, mental illness, and bullying. Let's look at the 8 definitions. The state of not having a job, a disease of the mind, the need to do something without being able to stop, frightening or hurting someone, especially if they are weaker than you, the state of not having a place to live, a condition that makes it difficult for someone to move or use part of their body, the unfair treatment of someone because of their color or where they come from, the state of not having money, or the basics of life. So let's match the social problems and the definitions. Number 1, homelessness. So the definition is the state of not having a place to live. Number 2, unemployment. The definition is the state of not having a job. Poverty. The definition is the state of not having money or the basics of life. Addiction means the need to do something without being able to stop. racism is the unfair treatment of someone because of their color or where they come from. Number 6, physical disabilities. Answer is the condition or a condition that makes it difficult for someone to move or use part of their body. Mental illness is a disease of the mind, and bullying, the definition is frightening or hurting someone, especially if they are weaker than you. Now for exercise 3, choose the correct answers. When you go to a food bank, you get something to eat, money to buy food. So answer is something to eat. When you go to a shelter, you are given A, a temporary place to stay, B, a permanent place to stay. So answer is a temporary place to stay. 3, when you take a retaining course, you might get a better house, a better job. So answer is a better job. Next, if number 4, if you work for charity, you ask people for donations or give people jobs. Answer is ask people for donations. 5, if you are in a halfway house, you will live there forever, stay there until you're ready to live on your own. So answer is B, stay there until you're ready to live on your own. 6, if you receive social welfare, you get money or pay money. So answer is get money. Number 7, if you are staying in a youth hostel, you are a young person or stay there for free. Answer is you're a young person. When you are in a nursing home, you are old and sick or training to be a nurse. So answer is old and sick. Number 4, which solutions in 3 could be used to solve the problem in 2? Which services from Dear students, which solution in 3 could be used to solve the problem in 2? Which services from 1 will be involved? Sometimes more than one answer is possible. So these are the answers. Food bank. So you're going to solve problems like homelessness and poverty. Shelter. You can solve problems like homelessness, poverty, and addiction. Retraining course. It is to solve the problem of unemployment. And if you have, solution is charity. It is for unemployment, poverty, addiction, physical disabilities, and also mental illness. Social welfare, it is for unemployment, poverty, and physical disabilities. For youth hostel, it is for homelessness, poverty, and also addiction. And if the solution is nursing home, it is to solve problems like poverty, physical disabilities, mental illness. And for police service and prison service, it is for racism and bullying. Job center, it is for problem like unemployment. And public housing, it is for homelessness and poverty. Now let's look at phrasal verbs. Circle the correct words to complete the sentences. Number 1, the teacher asked the teenagers to act out or act up an argument they might have with their parents. So answer is to act out. Number 2, pass by, pass round the photos so that everyone can see them. Answer is pass round. Number 3, I can't hear you. Could you speak up or speak out, please? So answer is speak up. The new road means the animals are cut off or cut back on and can't reach the river. So the answer is cut off. I would like to point out or point to that because we don't have enough money, we can't open the shelter. The answer is point out. Hans had been living on the street for months. It was kind of you to take him in or take it on and give him a place to stay. So the answer is take him in. Next, for the next question, match the phrasal verbs you didn't use in one with the meanings below and then write a sentence using each one in your notebook. So go near a place but not enter. So the phrasal verb is pass by. Point to is to make it seem likely that something is true or will happen. Next we have add up. So add up is to behave badly and speak up is to state your opinion on the subject. And next we have take on, that is to accept work or responsibility, and the last one cut back on, it is to reduce the amount of something. Now let's look at word formation. Complete the table. We have 3 columns, verb, noun and adjective. So disable is the verb, noun is disability. So what is the adjective? So it is disabled. Okay, inspire is a verb, noun is inspiration, and adjective is inspiring or inspired. Represent is a verb, so the noun is representative and adjective is representative. Next we have number 4, combine. Noun is combination and adjective is combined. Number 5 we have noun is assistant. So what is the verb? Assist. And there is no adjective. Then the last one, the adjective is addicted or additive. So the noun is addiction. Okay, students, now complete the sentences with some of the words from 3. If we can assist you and your family in any way, please contact us. I'm meeting with a representative of a big company today to ask if they want to donate money to our cause. The combined efforts of the 2 charities made the opening of the halfway house possible. In spite of her hearing disability, Mary is a very successful teacher. After her inspiring speech about the homeless, many people donated money for the new shelter. His addiction to drugs has destroyed his life. Dear students, the last part is collocations and expressions. Complete the sentences with these words. Can you explain what the expressions in both mean? So here you have back, ear, feet, heart, heels, and shoulders. Let's look at the sentences. I asked her to go with me, but she dug in her heels and refused to change her mind. It's so sad to see homeless people. My heart goes out to them. Julie deserves a pat on the back for all the voluntary work she does. There's no point talking to her. Everything you tell her goes in one ear and out the other. The politicians know we need jobs. I wish they would stop dragging their feet and set up some retraining courses. Thanks for helping me at the food bank. It took a weight off my shoulders. Next is a lesson for grammar. Dear students, let's look at the grammar item. The grammar item for this unit is question tags and pronouns. So let's read about question tags and pronouns. Question tags. Question tags are short questions at the end of a sentence. We use them when we want someone to agree with us or to make sure that something is true. These are some of the sentences. They tried to help the poor, didn't they? You didn't give it to charity, did you? I'm able to help, aren't I? You enjoy working at the youth hostel, don't you? So here you have the question tags. Now let's look at reflexive pronouns. We use reflexive pronouns when the subject and the object of the sentence are the same. She taught herself to read. With some verbs, did the children behave themselves on the Coast Guard boat? To emphasize on something, to emphasize that somebody does something alone without another person's help. We often use the word by. So example, Hannah founded the foundation herself. Ben started the food program by himself. Okay, so we can use by himself. Let's look at indefinite pronouns. An indefinite pronoun refers to one or more unspecified people, things, or places. Someone stole some blankets from the youth hostel. Did anything exciting happen at school today? Everywhere. Okay, so these are the indefinite pronouns. Everywhere was very quiet. Nobody could answer my question. We use another for an additional person, thing, or place. I've already asked one question. Could I ask another? We use less for a smaller amount, little for a small amount, more for a larger amount, and much for a large amount. You did less than anyone else. Much has been done to improve the nursing home. We use some for an unspecified number or amount. Here is the medicine. Take some after lunch. We use such for a type that has already been mentioned. She was poor and people treated her as such. We use however, whatever, whichever, and wherever for unspecified people, things, or places. Whoever wants to join the course, sign here. We'll take you wherever you need to go. Dear students, now let's look at number 2. Read the sentences. Which one contains a reflexive pronoun? Which contains an indefinite pronouns? Number 1, whatever you decide to do, I'll support you. He will never get a job by himself. Sentence 2, he will never get a job by himself, contains a reflexive pronoun. And sentence 1, whatever you decide to do, I'll support you, contains an indefinite pronouns. The students remember to read 12.1 and until 12.3 of the grammar reference before you do your task. Now let's complete the sentences with question text. Dad feels good about working for WWF, doesn't he? Don't forget to visit Grandma at the nursing home. Will you? The charity fundraiser won't be held tomorrow. Will it? Let's help out at the shelter tonight. Shall we? You have stayed at the youth hostel before, haven't you? I'm being a bully, aren't I? Everyone donated to UNICEF, didn't they? Those boys were adopted, weren't they? Julia didn't raise the most money, did she? This is good news, isn't it? Next, circle the correct pronouns to complete the sentences. Number 1, the teenager set up the charity by itself or himself. So answer is himself. Number 2, can anyone or nothing tell me what happened? So the answer is anyone. Number 3, I know you had a bad day. Less or such is life. Answer is such is life. Number 4, you can call whoever, whenever you want to talk to someone. So you can call whenever you want to talk to someone. Number 5, we managed to sell all these tickets, ourselves or themselves. Answer is ourselves. I'm bored. Let's go nowhere or somewhere. So answer is somewhere. That was a great sandwich. Could I have much or another? Answer is another. You mustn't blame myself or yourself for the world's problem. So answer is yourself. Dear students, the next grammar item is not only but also, had better, it's about, or it's high time. Read about the inversion, not only but also, had better, it's about time, or it's high time. Not only but also. We can use not only but also at the beginning of a sentence to emphasize. When we do this, the word order changes. Compare. Kevin not only helps the mentally ill, but he also volunteers at the youth hostel. Not only does Kevin help the mentally ill, but he also volunteers at the youth hostel. Second, we have the next item, had better. We can use had better plus bare infinitive to say what someone should do or to give advice. Okay, the first one, I better not borrow any money. I won't be able to pay it back. You had better apply for a job this week. Next, it's about time, or it's high time. We can use it's time, it's about time, and it's high time plus past tense to complain about or criticize something or someone in the present. It's time, Grant, stop relying on social welfare. It's about time you found a place to live. It's high time she got a job. Number 2, read the sentences. Do they refer to the present or the past? What is the tense of the main verb in these sentences? It's time we did something about the homeless. It's about time I left for the nursing home. It's high time you stopped asking me for money. So here they refer to the present. And then what is the tense? It is past simple tense. Dear students, do read 12.4 until 12.6 of the grammar reference before you do the task. Circle the correct answers. Number 1, not only a lot of money, but they also give people hope. So do charities raise or raise charities raise? So not only do charities raise a lot of money, but they also give people hope. Number 2, it's high time you feeling sorry for yourself. So stopped or did stop. Answer is stopped. It's high time you stopped feeling sorry for yourself. Number 3, we had better if we can get a bed at a shelter for the night. So to see or see, we had better see. Okay, number 4 is about time the government more public housing. Built or built? Answer is built. Number 5, they had better to the officer at the police station. Speak or spoke? Answer is speak. Number 6, not only cheap, but it is also clean. That youth hostel is or is that youth hostel? So answer is that youth hostel. It's time you take on or took on some more responsibilities. Answer is took on. Number 6, not only at the local food bank, but she also ran a charity shop. Help Claire or did Claire help? So answer, not only did Claire help. Now let's read the sentences and write C for correct and or I for incorrect. Rewrite the incorrect sentences in your notebook. So number 1, not only do the poor need money, but they also need homes. Answer is correct. It's about time you attended a meeting for your addiction. Answer is correct. Not only the man was an addict, but he also was a thief. It is incorrect. It's time they give him an award. He's an inspiration to everyone. It is incorrect. Tina had better to speak to the boy's parents if he acts up again. Answer is incorrect. It's high time we do something about the problem. Answer is incorrect. So let's look at the correct sentences. For number 4, not only was the man an addict, but he also was a thief. Number 5, it's time. Number 4, it's time they give. So answer is, it's time they gave him an award. He's an inspiration to everyone. Next, we have number 5. Tina had better speak to the boy's parents if he acts up again. And number 6, it's high time we did something about the problem. Dear students, the next lesson is listening. For listening, below are some voluntary activities that people can do to help their community. Which do you think would be the most suitable for groups or volunteers to do? So C will be groups of volunteers, and which for individuals. So individuals will be I, and G will be group of volunteers. Number 1, painting a youth center. So this is group of volunteers visiting an old person in his or her home. So this is individual. Delivering a disabled person's shopping. So this is individual. Clearing rubbish from a community garden. This is groups of volunteers. Organizing a food bank. This is groups of volunteers. And helping in a charity shop. So this is for individuals. Dear students, sometimes you might answer a question wrongly because you have not noticed a small detail in the question. Look at question 1 to 4 in 3 and underline a detail that someone who is not reading carefully may not notice. So let's look at the small detail. Number 1 is as a group. Number 2 is elderly or disabled people. And number 3 is last. And number 4 is all. Now you are going to listen, or you will hear a short radio announcement and some questions. Before the announcement, you will have time to read the questions. Listen to the radio announcement and choose the best answer from the answer choices or the options A, B, C or D. Let's look at the download notes. Sometimes you can choose the wrong answer by not checking the details in the question. So read the questions carefully before you hear the recording and make sure you know exactly what to listen for.
Unit 12. Listening. Exercise 3.
Do you ever feel that it's about time you did some voluntary work for your community? Sometimes it can be difficult to know where to start, can't it? Well, if you like the idea of doing something to help and you enjoy keeping fit, I might have just the solution for you. An organisation called Good Gym helps community groups, elderly people and disabled people, but it also helps its volunteers to keep themselves fit because they run to all their projects. Good Gym has 2 main types of projects: group work, where volunteers run together to do a task, and individual tasks, where volunteers run somewhere on their own to do something useful. The group projects often involve work on a community garden or youth centre. Some tasks might involve clearing rubbish from an area, for example, whereas others involve perhaps painting walls or railings. Volunteers usually start at a cafe, run to the project location, do the job, run back and finish off with a cup of tea and a piece of cake. It's a great way to make friends, have fun, get fit and do something useful. Good Gym also arranges good deeds for individuals to do. They run to the home of an elderly or disabled person who's unable to leave their house perhaps. They stay and chat for a while and then run home, and they do this regularly, so they develop a friendship with the person. Other tasks are one-off, such as changing a light bulb or delivering someone's shopping. On the most recent group event, members ran to a community garden. Local people had created the garden, and had planted lots of flowers and trees, but they needed some help keeping the area clubbish, so that's where Good Gym members were able to lend a hand. Anyone can join Good Gym. All you have to do is attend one of the group runs and fill in a form. The organisers will arrange a police check, which must be passed for safety reasons, and ask you if you'd like to make a donation, although this isn't compulsory. Then you can participate in whichever group runs or individual visits you like, whenever you feel like it. Why not give Good Gym a try? Not only could you help local people and organisations, but you could also help yourself by keeping fit, and we all need to do that, don't we? Check out the website at www.goodgym.org.
Dear students, let's read these 5 questions and find the suitable answers. Number 1, what sort of things do Good Gym members do as a group? A. Clearing rubbish or painting community spaces. B. Leading activities for young people, holding fitness classes, attending social events like lunch in a cafe. So the answer is A. Clearing rubbish or painting community spaces. Number 2, how do elderly or disabled people benefit from Good Gym? A. They make friends with other elderly or disabled people. They have the chance to get out of the house. They receive friendly visits from a runner. They have a helper when they go shopping. So the answer is C. They receive friendly visits from a runner. Question C. What did Good Gym members do on their last community event? A. Created a new community garden. B. Planted flowers and trees. C. Prepared the area for planting. D. Removed rubbish from the garden. So answer is removed rubbish from the garden. Number 4. What do all Good Gym runners have to do? A. Pass a police check. B. Make a donation. C. Make a regular time commitment. And D. Run regularly in a group. Answer is A. Pass a police check. Question 5. Why is the speaker making the announcement? A. To stress the importance of keeping fit. B. To encourage people to help their community. C. To ask for charitable donations. And D. To advise a community event. To advertise a community event. So the answer is B. To encourage people to help their community. Dear students, thank you for watching this video. And do remember to subscribe to my channel. It is called Educator Omni Tube. Okay? So bye-bye for now and see you in another English language lesson. Bye!